Joining me now, Hogan Gidley, who was the principal deputy press secretary in Trump's first White House. Hello, Hogan.
Hey, Blake.
Good to see you as always. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. So you know Trump better than I ever will, but you know as well as I do that basically most, if not everything, is a negotiation.
Of course.
With Donald Trump, right? So with Matt Gaetz out now, how much less leverage does Donald Trump have on some of the other high-profile picks? Tulsi Gabbard, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the aforementioned Pete Hegseth.
I don't know that he has less. I'd argue he has more. You know,
How
presidents have a large bank of political capital. Donald Trump has more than most. He won all the swing states, popular vote as well. And so now, where are you going to spend it? Obviously, he's not spending it on Matt Gaetz because Matt Gaetz withdrew his name. Obviously, Matt Gaetz saw his name being in that post as problematic for a Donald Trump day one movement to get things done on behalf of the American people. So honestly, it was selfless of Matt to step down and say, this isn't going to be for me this time. So now, where does he spend the capital he didn't have to spend on Matt Gaetz? You don't think
he spent any political capital there on Matt Gaetz?
Obviously not. I mean, this was a pick for how many days? And then it turned into something, a week or something, turned into something else. Donald Trump has already assembled an amazing cabinet at this point. Names like Elise Stefanik and Linda McMahon, Tom Homan, names that will get confirmed, Marco Rubio, of course. So he's got a lot of heft already. Remember, this is way different than it was the first time. He learned those lessons. He has the wisdom, discernment, the knowledge of having done this before. Now these guys are off to the races, so we have to fill that one and others as well.
Yeah, so the other really big one out there is Treasury Secretary, right? The economy top of mind for voters. It's the biggest economic post there is. Here's what Donald Trump said on Joe Rogan a few weeks ago, and we'll take it up from there.
To me, the most beautiful word, and I've said this for the last couple of weeks, in the dictionary today, is the word tariff. This country can become rich with the proper use of tariffs.
All right, so Donald Trump wants tariffs.
Yep.
Wall Street doesn't like tariffs. Donald Trump wants the market to go up and to the right. It's kind of square peg, round hole right now, trying to find someone who'll take on that role of doing what he wants and tariffs and the stock market liking it. Is that why there hasn't been an announcement yet? And sort of what's the square peg, round hole there?
Well, first of all, I said no to it, so I'm going to announce on your show. I said, no, I don't want that job. But listen, Donald Trump was president before. That's the dirty little secret Democrats didn't want to talk about. He actually put tariffs in place.
Yep, $300 billion.
You could
Joe
still
Biden
afford.
kept them.
You could, and Joe Biden kept them. But under his administration, you could still afford gas and groceries. So his economy was way better for the average man and woman than was Joe Biden's. So
why doesn't he have a Treasury Secretary right now, though?
Look, there are a lot of people vying for that position. It's a very significant post, as you know, very important to the incoming administration. The American people largely vote on the economy. So who do you put in that role that has, Donald Trump's trust, that can be loyal to Donald Trump and his mission to make the American people first and make America great and implement the policies he wants implemented? It's a long list of folks. I've been at Mar-a-Lago now for several days. I watched the jockeying that occurs.
So what's that like? What's the jockeying like? For as much as you could say, as you sit here and smirk and smile at it. I know you can't say much.
Yeah, I can't say much.
Right.
Look, I think a lot of people want in that administration because they know the best days for America are yet to come when you have a leader like Donald Trump who makes us more feared, loved, and respected on the global stage, but also is so beloved by many in this country as having made their lives better. They want to be a small part of that. So, of course, there are only a few roles that can be filled, and many people want to fill them.
So Linda McMahon over at the Department of Education, Donald Trump has talked about wanting to eliminate the Education Department. But, Hogan, there was a vote here in Washington last year. 60 House Republicans voted against the idea of abolishing the Education Department. That's a big number. Do you think they fall in line, or this idea of eliminating the Education Department is more in theory than practical?
Well, look, I think once Linda gets a hold of it, she obviously is a billionaire in her own right, brilliant woman who I've worked with now for several years at this point. She's going to take a look at it. And then when you have great minds like Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy trying to figure out how to save money for the American taxpayer via changes at these departments, who knows what's going to happen?
But do you think Hill Republicans fall in line? You know them well. Like, how does that relationship work?
I think at this stage in the game, Donald Trump has more wind at his back than he ever has had before, and he has a willing speaker and Senate Majority Leader ready to move quickly to implement the policies the American people voted for, more quickly than I've ever seen before.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider.
And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.